We are now just waiting for Mr. Amitabh Kant, the CEO of NITI Aayog, who is coming in. Mr. Amitabh Kant was responsible for the ease of doing business in India.
So as Nadira mentioned, we've had to adjust, and we're just absolutely delighted that the CEO of NITI Aayog, Amitabh Kant, is with us, and again, a very well-known figure. He was in Canada many times, but most recently at the Invest India conference headed by Prem Watsa in September of 2017. So Mr. Kant, I just want to say how honored we are that you are with us yet again today. We would be delighted for you to say a few words on behalf of NITI Aayog and any key messages that you have.
Honorable Minister Victor Fedley, the Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade of the Province of Ontario, the Honorable Minister, Mr. Jeremy Harrison, Ministry of Trade and Export Development, the Province of Saskatchewan, the Right Honorable Mr. Stephen J. Harper, the former Prime Minister. We're very honored to have you with us. His Excellency Mr. Nadir Patel, the High Commissioner for Canada to India, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly delighted to be here at this annual National Convention. It's a great pleasure to be in the midst of this very distinguished gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at India in the last 5 years, we've grown at an average of around 7.5%. If you go back in time, and if you look from 2004, 2005 till now, India's lifted over 300 million people above the poverty line. But the challenge for India is really to grow at higher rates over a 3-decade period, to be able to lift a very, very young population above the poverty line. And that is, to my mind, the biggest transition that is taking place across the world, that the population in India is getting younger and younger, and will keep getting younger till 2042, whereas the population across the western part of the world will keep getting older and older. And rarely has a country not created wealth when it passes through such light dependency burden. And therefore, India is doing several things, one of which is that it had made itself very complicated and a difficult place to do business in. It's focused very strongly on ease of doing business. It's jumped up about 79 positions on the World Bank Ease of Doing Business. It is a very large country. It is bigger than 24 countries of Europe, and therefore quite a lot of action is in the states. So we make our states compete with each other. We rank them. We name and shame them. We put this in public domain. So the first year we did this, Gujarat came number 1. The next year we did this, Andhra beat Gujarat. The third year we did this, a new state like Telangana beat Gujarat and Andhra. But the good thing was that the eastern part of India, that is Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, which are mineral-rich states of India, did extremely well, and they jumped up. And if they keep improving, India will grow on a consistent basis over a long period of time at 8 to 9% over a 3-decade period. We've opened up our foreign direct investment regime across sectors in a very big way. Our FDI has grown by about 66% at a point when FDI across the world has fallen by 13%. Urbanization will be a very, very key driver of growth in India. As was mentioned, every minute we have 30 Indians moving from rural areas to urban areas. But if you go by the latest McKinsey study, over the next 5 decades, we'll have over 700 million Indians getting into the process of urbanization. And therefore, the challenge will be to make 2.5 Americas for India, and to do it in a very innovative and sustainable manner. Because when the western part of the world urbanized, land, gas, and water were all cheaply available. They are all scarce commodities. And therefore, India will have to do compact, dense urbanization on the back of public transport. It'll have to recycle its water, recycle its waste. And if India is able to do that, then it'll hold out a model of unique urbanization across the world. We've also brought in some major structural reforms in the Indian economy. We have a goods and services tax, which is one tax across the economy. It's like putting one tax across entire Europe. It's been a very, very difficult process, but we've succeeded in doing that. It's totally paperless, cashless goods and services tax. We've ended crony capitalism by bringing in the insolvency and bankruptcy code. We brought in the Real Estate Regulation Act, which ensures transparency in land transactions. But more than that, I think the biggest reform that has been carried out is one of direct benefit transfer. That is, we transfer money straight into the bank accounts of individuals below the poverty line, and over 600 schemes, they are able to take money out using their biometric. I'm saying this because we are the only country in the world with over 1,200 million biometric. We're the only country in the world with 1,200 million bank accounts and over 1,200 million mobiles. And therefore, when I started my career, it would take a long time to open a bank account for traditional fishermen, but today you can do it in less than a minute. And therefore, the digital transformation of India has been quite incredible. It's not only that the goods and services tax is totally digital. The new Ayushman Bharat scheme, which covers 500 million Indians, which is more than the population of USA, Europe, and Mexico put together, is totally cashless, paperless. Our direct tax, 99.8% of Indians pay direct tax online, out of which 96% gets settled within a period of 6 months. It's all digital. And we have the unified payment interface on which all banks are connected. So we make all our transactions using our mobile, all our digital transactions. All our payments are made using our mobile and doing digital transactions. And therefore, we have, unlike America, where data is owned by Google and Facebook, and unlike China, where it's owned by Alibaba and Baidu, in India we have created public entities like UPI, like Ayushman Bharat, like GST, on the back of which private entities like Google Pay, Paytm, etc. innovate. And therefore, the digital transaction of India has been a technological leapfrogging in many, many ways. And therefore, India has become a very innovative society in many ways. But let me turn to our ICBC annual convention, because Canada is really home to one of the largest South Asian communities abroad per capita, with approximately 5.6% of Canadians being of Indian heritage, over around 1.9 million people. India's bilateral trade with Canada has grown sevenfold between 2001 to 2017-18, and it's been a very robust growth. I think more than 400 Canadian companies have a presence in India, and more than 1,000 companies are actively pursuing businesses in the Indian market. Canada has been one of the largest investors in India. It has fueled vast amount of foreign direct investment during the 17-year period from 2000 to 17, and a number of Canadian companies operating in India are among the leaders in their respective sectors, like Air Canada, Apotex Pharmacies, the Bank of Nova Scotia, Thomson Reuters, McCain Foods, many of them, Bombardier also. And let me tell you this, as a former CEO and Managing Director of the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor Development Corporation, I can vouch for the fact that Canadian companies like Lee Associates, which worked with me as consultants, and IBI as ICT master planners in Shendra, have done an extremely commendable job of contributing to the smart city development in India. Their contribution has been quite phenomenal. The ambitious Greenfield Smart City project, which is a part of the National Industrial Corridor Development Program of India is a great avenue for mutual commercial collaboration. I'm saying this because India is the only country in the world which is doing over 100 smart cities. We are doing over 50 metros across the world. Through this dedicated freight corridor, by next year we'll be connecting the northern part of India to the western ports. Today it takes about 13 to 14 days for goods to reach the ports on the western coast of India. By next year, the goods will reach within 14 hours. So the paradigm shift will be from 14 days to 14 hours. And the same will be in the case of the Eastern Corridor, which will connect Calcutta to Ludhiana. So therefore, our view is that to create smart cities, India needs a very balanced approach that includes the redevelopment of city infrastructure and the introduction of smart technologies to enhance quality of life, performance, and interactivity of urban services. And this presents a huge opportunity for Canadian technology companies with innovative solutions for managing city assets such as energy, water, transportation, public safety, citizen services, city governance, and more than anything else, education. And these are areas where Canada has excelled, and Canadian players have a huge opportunity here. And some of the key technology-based solutions that could be implemented in the Smart City program in India include smart environmental and energy solutions, huge amount of challenges of pollution control, public utilities, distribution systems, intelligent transportation systems, intelligent building management system, energy security, citywide monitoring, sensors, tracking, dynamic resource management system, emergency response mechanisms. All these are key areas where Canada has expertise, and that is what India is looking for. And India will be very happy to partner Canadian companies in all these areas of growth. A smart city really converges all urban amenities and civic utilities on an integrated digital platform. And artificial intelligence combined with IoT will really improve the lives of citizens, and AI will really be the key driver. Several studies have shown that artificial intelligence will contribute over 16.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. That is more than the combined output of USA and China put together. In India itself, AI will be adding over 1.3% to India's GDP on an annual basis. Now, Canada is emerging as a global leader in development of AI, and Toronto is really the birthplace of modern machine. It's the birthplace of modern machine learning with the highest concentration of AI startups in the world. And we deeply appreciate that. Google, Thomson Reuters, TD Bank Group, Amazon, Alexa, Shopify, and 26 more companies have committed a huge amount over the last years to support Toronto's Vector Institute in innovating AI technologies. Canadian universities and institutes will, to my mind, can partner with Indian companies for transfer of technology as well as initiating R&D in data valorization, developing algorithms and machine learning, because Canada may be a very innovative place in the world. Silicon Valley may be the most innovative place in the world, but you people don't have the challenges which India has. India has all the challenges. Challenges of improving learning outcomes, challenges of improving health outcomes, challenges of controlling pollution, challenges of better water supply. And if you can partner India to find solutions to the challenges of India, you are finding a solution not for the 1.3 billion people of India, but for the 7.5 billion people of the world who will move from poverty to middle class in the decade and a half. And therefore your market will be really 7.5 billion people of the world. So therefore, huge opportunities in all these cutting-edge technology areas, the sunrise areas of growth. But Canada is also one of the world leaders in the production and use of energy from renewable sources, hydro, wind, solar, biomass, with significant developments in geothermal and marine energy, accounting for nearly 2/3 of Canada's total electricity generation. And I think there's a huge possibility of partnership here. We have opportunities right across the energy spectrum with expertise in clean technology, smart grids, nuclear, oil field services, vast range of opportunities. India's strength is in the ability to deliver healthcare at low cost, but its resources and expertise limit the accessibility of quality healthcare for people. Canada is a global leader in universal healthcare. We can partner with India to deliver quality and more accessible healthcare for the Indian masses by using Indian IT expertise and delivering quality healthcare to people in far-flung areas. Canada has also developed innovative farming methods at places with Dominion Experimental Farm, Rosthern Experimental Stations, and Bell Farm. And Saskatchewan has been the center of excellence where the better farming train traveled around its rural areas, pioneering training to farmers. So there are huge opportunities. In recent years, increasing number of farmers are producing alternative crops such as which are economically viable and are turning to organic farming. And these are again areas of huge possibilities of technological sharing in pesticide-free production, insect management, fertility, weed management, disease management, a whole range of areas. And to my mind, we've seen the arrival of the Canadian pension firms in India. Our infrastructure sector has expanded and grown across road, airports, ports, all these areas, and now we are privatizing them. These are de-risk projects where work has already been done and is being put out in market. And therefore, these provide a huge possibility of long-term investment by Canadian superannuation funds. Canadian funds and institutional investors have invested already approximately US $45 billion in India till now, and are increasingly viewing India as an attractive destination for investment. So ladies and gentlemen, there are huge opportunities, as I've pointed out. We in India have just begun our long spurt for growth. We are the last big global economy which has opened up its economy and brought in ease of doing business. And therefore, this is a vast market which will continue to grow at rapid pace and will create a huge amount of infrastructure with a big middle class. And this is a great opportunity for India and China to work together and really reshape our partnership for the years to come. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I wish this conference all the very best. Thank you.